Alrighty, here's a video on the alteration of the, I guess you would call these the headlight buckets. So, anyways, it started off with, so what happens is it's the right size headlight, but this part here, it just sticks out a little bit too far for this part over here. So I had to do a few different things. I had to cut this out of here, and then I have my die grinder. So I cut it out with a jigsaw, and then went out with the die grinder. So basically, I don't know if you can kind of just barely see, like right here, how there's a slight little edge right there. So basically just went off all the way around on both of these and took off that edge, and so that's plenty. And then I got a hole drilled down there for the daylight running light, and then I got a rubber grommet, of course. Then come to this side, and I have these slots cut out, which I did once again with the jigsaw, because cutting aluminum with a jigsaw blade seems to be about the best way to cut it. So, I mean, that is unless you have, $100,000 laser cutter kind of thing, but, how many of us have that? So, anyway, so I got that going through there, and then, let's see here, let me put this phone down. Let's see, that actually works out decent. Let me prop that up a little bit, a little bit more. Okay, so got that there, and this needs to kind of go in here because that kind of has to be tucked in there just right, just because of the layout of everything. Let's see, this is the top right there. And how those wires kind of stick out pretty far, but it's okay. It all works. Okay, so that fits right in there. And then, as you can see, that goes there nicely on both sides. Yeah, a little bit ago I cut this back. You know what? I'll probably go just a little bit more with the die grinder right there, and then that'll be good. And I've already had the ring on a few minutes ago, and that holds it down nicely. And you can see here where that's pulled down all the way. That little tab. There's 3 tabs that keep it oriented correctly, and it's all nice and flush in there. The cap goes on there good, or the retainer ring, I guess you could call it. So, all right, so that's all done there, and this one too. This one's actually, this one's completely done. I already know the cutouts for the housing are all good. I don't have to go back over that anymore. So I cut those out with a jigsaw as well, and then went over it and fine-tuned it with the die grinder. And then I got this stuff right here. That's what she said. And that got bumped a little bit. All right, I'm going to have to put a little, and which it's fine, but I'll put a little bit more on that. And when this was wet, it got some little pieces from when I was die grinding this other. But that's okay. That's all just on the surface, and it's aluminum anyway, so it doesn't matter. But so, anyways, I'm sealing the connections all the way up, just how everything else is on the vehicle. This stuff only comes in white, and I've never seen this stuff before. I do home remodeling for a living, and I've never seen this material or that kind of caulking before. So I think that's pretty new stuff, but it's like an extreme stretch. And so I figured that would be good to put on there. I would have got clear, but it only comes in white. So anyways, yeah, I'll go and I'll just do a tiny bit more here. Just to be on the safe side. I've been having a part. This is a one-time deal. I do it once and I'm going to do it again. So, yeah. So basically I just got to put a little bit more goo on that thing. And touch up, I think it's this corner on this one, I believe. A little bit there, and then I'll pull this out, and then I'll put the caulking around that piece, and then yeah, I'll just let them sit overnight. I'll go and do something else in the meantime. No need to rush on this. Let it sit overnight, and then install them tomorrow. So let's see. I think. Oh yeah. So what I did with these. Oh, here, let me show you something. And this is probably only going to pertain to these particular headlights, but so on the back of the headlight, there's an offset on how that housing is. And so on this side, the housing lines up with this piece right there. And then on this side, it actually lines up at the bottom. So this one lines up at the top, this side lines up at the bottom. So it's just, this... Whoop, this side is just shifted down a little bit, and that's kind of up a little bit. But so anyways, yeah. So I did I drilled a 5/8 hole, one over here and then one over here, and then basically I just connected the holes is what I did. When you're using a jigsaw, the angle to get in here, it's really beneficial to have a normal than longer metal blade. And so if you're having to do that, I would highly suggest it. I broke 2 blades specifically because of, man, if it was just like maybe a 1/2 inch longer, even not like it needs to be a foot long. But yeah, I snapped it because you have an angle here that you're trying to hold it to cut a straight line as best you can, and then like I said, then you go over it with the die grinder and then clean it up and make it nice and neat and presentable. So yeah, that pretty much does it. Yeah, 5/8, 5/8, 5/8, 5/8. This was 7/32 to drill that for that little daylight running light wire. Guess I didn't mention that's what that was. So got that. And these lights here, oh, that's right. This right here, these lights, there's no name brand on them, but I got them from eBay months back when I had bought my first Humvee back in September last year. And then, if anybody knows the story, GovPlanet did me really dirty on it, and they sold me a vehicle that didn't have a legible serial number. Now, I knew it didn't have a legible serial number, but it was the first time ever buying something with a Q code, and I had no idea that the government would never release a vehicle that didn't have a legible serial number. So GovPlanet kept my money. So I bought it September 23rd, paid for it the next day, and then I got my money back right around the beginning of December. Now, they gave me money back right away once I called them out on their BS, but they literally made the interest off my money the whole time. And yeah, basically that's going to be anybody that doesn't know how it works. Don't ever buy something that has a Q code that doesn't have a legible serial number, because the government will never, the TSC is who does the background checks. They will never release a vehicle to somebody, and those vehicles just have to be destroyed because they can't keep track of them. So, anyway, so I bought these lights way back in probably October or November in preparation of the vehicle coming in, and then it didn't happen. But so now I'm using them on this one, and I paid like $175 to $185 on eBay. I think now they're a little bit over $200. I think they're like $205. But I spent so many hours and hours looking at headlights over the course of probably a week or two, just to find the ones with the most output, the least amount of dead spots, you know, all of, you know, a nice crisp white light, all those factors. And you know what? These seem to be the ones that fit the bill. So I'm sure I'll be really happy with them. But like I said, I did have to modify the housing. But you know what? If you're going to get a Humvee, you know what? Either there's only two ways you get one of these things. Either you get one of these where you have a ton of money and you either just buy one that's already built, or you have the money to buy one and then pay a shop to just make it all awesome for you, or you get one that's missing a lot of things like mine is. You get it for a greatly reduced price, and if you know how to do all the work, then you're good. You know, and so I'm the one with you know, I had a decent amount of money. Like I've put a lot into this so far, and honestly, I don't even want to look at it. Like it's inconsequential. Like it doesn't matter what I've spent on it, because everything I've spent on it needed to be spent. And so, you know, once you start something like this, you just, it doesn't matter. You just spend whatever it takes to make it happen. And at the end of the day, you just got to be good with it. So, you definitely don't want to get one of these and then to have to count your bills, because that's not something you want to do with this. Just like when I bought my Vector 10mm gun last year, I got all these different things, I did all this different stuff. I didn't pay attention to the money, because if I did, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I really wanted to do it, and it was very important to me. So I just did it, and the money did not matter. So anyways, all right, guys, catch you next time.